Hello, back to Examina, and look who we found. The guy who I actually don't know how I managed to miss this guy. I must have explored every area except for this one area, which is actually consistently where I found him, I believe. I don't think he wanders around too much. He might wander up and down this corridor, but yeah, I'll show you a key. Finally. So looks quite similar to the other one, bit duller in colour and faces the other way, and of course it opens the door directly in front of us here. Rather than go straight through that door, what I'll do is I'll show you where he is exactly. I know why I've gotten confused in the last video. I got confused between the two big rooms, the two big hall type rooms, and I was looking in the wrong one. I thought I'd found him in the room with the doors. However, with the sealed off doors, I mean, most of the rooms have doors, and in fact, it's actually it's actually the other big room that you come across a bit earlier. So got to get our trademark move of the face plant into the video as early as possible. So I mean, I've tried to get to this point a couple of times already, and to be honest, I was having quite a bit of difficulty with enemies that normally I would find quite easy, and I put that down to actually an issue that I have in the room that I'm in. I'm in the roof of a house, and the windows are sort of slanted on the roof, and there's no way for me to block out the light, and the game just looks crisper when it's dark. So as the sun is slowly set on the evening, I've managed to get further and further. I was sort of a bit confused, enemies that wouldn't normally have been a problem for me at all were taking doing some severe damage to me, and I'm putting it down to that. I'm not sure if that is the case, but it certainly does look a lot crisper now that the sun's gone down, and I feel like I can sort of see my guy quite a bit better. I mean, the game is naturally very dark, and I think they will eventually put in options to sort of adjust the brightness. I'm not really sure, but the alternative is that I buy some blinds for my room, but they're actually quite awkward shaped windows, quite awkwardly angled, and it's not like I can just get a pair of curtains, unfortunately. Anyway, enough of that. Hopefully that's enough of a demonstration for you to have seen where this room is. Basically, if you just that big first hall, the one without the parchment on the floor, if you can get yourself there, then you will come across a door that will lead down this winding corridor. There's two enemies, so be careful of that. Be careful that they're not bunched up together as you make your way round, and if they are, then obviously just give it a bit of time and wait for them to separate out from each other. Okay, I'm really happy that I can finally show this content, because it means that I can progress onto an area that I haven't been into. We can potentially find some new lore, although I don't want to speak too soon, because if you've watched any of my other videos, as you are possibly aware, I tend to be quite unlucky sometimes, or, well, not always the best at this game. Let's face it. So yeah, this is what I was talking about when I said that it's like a connection. So that corridor from that big room, this corridor where you actually find the guy with the key, unlock this door, and that's the second locked door of these two. And indeed, we are now able to use this key. That noises really. In fact, I think all of the noises in this game are really quite satisfying. But unlocking a door, it's the sound of progress, my friends. So yeah, the last video we did have a little issue with the disappearing torch, but I don't really credit that with my demise. Listening back to the video, I do sound very disappointed at the end, and I struggle to hide that sometimes. If I feel disappointed, then yeah, I might be a bit, oh, I'm dead, but but really it should just be an indicator of how immersed I'm getting in the game. So really, it's a good thing. It was an awkward one, that death, but it was my own fault because I'm obviously keen to get recording content, and because of that, I sort of glazed over at some enemies and left some doors open, and it's really my own fault that they're all sort of wandering around. It's best not to fight anything in those corridors, because if you can help it, because of how dark they are, you have to do some fiddling around with your torch, because usually you'd be carrying your torch down there, and then etc, etc. So we have heard the sound of an enemy in here, and I'm pretty sure that there's at least one. I think there's actually two, so I'm going to be careful as ever. Don't want to die this early, but as you will see, hopefully we get some really nice gear in this room, so I'm very pleased to have finally found him. Right, yeah, we've got two enemies and they're very bunched up at the moment, so let's just see what happens a little. One of them walks over. Okay, I think actually we want to shut that door. hopefully we can get them in a bit of a better position. It's a little bit awkward in this place. Very narrow between these two sort of cages. So I'm not actually sure I want to pull them back. We certainly want to separate them out. That is pretty damn crucial to how well the fight could potentially go, how well or badly. Can we hear them moving away? I mean, I actually don't think I'd struggle too much if I got one of them. Just one thing I'm slightly concerned is how easy is it to catch yourself on these things. Doesn't actually seem too bad. That it's going to be more difficult for them than for me, definitely. But two of them down here is going to just end up with me backing off. Well, that isn't really an option either, is it? Huh. Remember how I did it the first time. I remember that I didn't really have much trouble with it. Maybe I should just take the plunge and kill and go for the both of them. I'll certainly consider it. The other thing I've done is killed Kurt Cobain. It was me. Kurt Cobain is dead, everyone. And I have his sword. So, R.I.P. Kurt. Thanks for the loot. And I didn't actually take any damage from it, so another sign that I am getting slightly better at the game. Or certainly at negotiating certain fights, and that pleases me. This little bit of damage. What gave me that? Oh yeah, I actually fought two enemies in the start, in the sort of school room at the start of this area, and that was where I ended up taking just a little bit. I've still got my health potion, all my books, all my lore, all recollected. So I don't think I've missed anything. I might have missed the odd logbook or something. Oh, certainly I've missed the logbook with the the prosthetic wielding attacker and the crutch. Those two guys, I don't really want to bother with that one. It's a bit of a risk to the run, a risk of taking damage anyway. Let's see where we're at with these. Okay, he's coming out to attack us. We're going to just move backwards into this room, and we might just try and shut the door on him if we can, to definitely separate them out. His weapon isn't too scary. He's going to struggle in this little area actually, although I'm slightly caught there. Come on, mate. Come get me. Hello? I might just have to go and smack him. Right. There we go. We've managed to close that door. So this is another one of those quirky little bugs that sometimes seems to happen. Just on his hair, again. Not game breaking, not really an issue, other than obviously it looks a bit strange. I know that they are aware of this one, so okay, he went down actually much quicker than I expected him to. So he can't be very well armoured. Let's have a quick look. He's not actually too bad. I mean, I suppose the velvet isn't helping him out. There's a lot of velvet going on. Maybe he's Velvet Man, although there are quite a few enemies with velvet. Maybe his room just got raided for all his clothes. Who knows? Okay, so I feel like we can sort of safely enter this room now, because I am reasonably sure that there's only two. And yeah, let's try and deal with this guy. Oh, he's got a sledgehammer. One thing I should just amend from my last video actually is when I was talking about the bugs, and I mentioned that a validation error had cost me a run, had caused me to you know, have to restart a run. Actually, that was my own silly fault. I should have realised at the time, but you can actually, if you get that validation error, then all you need to do is just the same as I did with the other error, and just go in and out of the game again, escape and then continue, and it fixes it. So yeah, that was the bug that I mentioned, was the one that was the most serious, and it prevented me from getting a run through, or sort of stopped my run through in its tracks. But it turns out that was just my own silly fault, and actually that turns that bug into something again that's just quite trivial. Knowing that, if it happens again, now I know that I can just easily fix it and continue on. So yeah, this is our tasty loot. Look at all this. So the reason we've been keeping these shoes all this time is because you can't have boots and the greaves. So we'll pop on these shoes, and we're going to be on the lookout for some better shoes, because they're described as worn. Nah, I think they're actually the ones I started with. So I know there's better ones sort of dotted around on enemies. I might just check some corpses as I exit this area. Shoulder pads, or spoilers, their technical name. These are just the same, I believe, as the ones we already have. And same for the gloves, I think. Yeah, they're exactly the same. So we actually won't bother taking them. I don't think it's just clutter for us. Hang on to our boots just in case. Well, I don't know why really, but just in case. And yeah, I have done a sweep of this area last time I was here. I'll just give you a little run round so you can see. So all of these cages. I would love to trap an enemy at some point, but I've tried to do that in the past. I'm not sure if that was on one of my videos actually. It might have been, but I have tried to do that in the past and it did not go well at all. So that's a project for a future date. But I think it would be quite funny to, you know, lure an enemy into a cage, back off, and then just slam him in. Could theoretically fill up these prisons with all sorts of zombies, but like I say, that's for more of a playthrough when I've completed things and I'm not more keen to see more of the game, you know, and anything that I can do at the moment to avoid risking my life total, I should certainly do. So yeah, none of these have got anything in. Although it doesn't stop us from checking. And yeah, same for the other side. I won't go down. I don't think it's worth doing, considering I've been here before and I know already. So yeah, what we'll do is I think we'll actually just head out. We're trying to get out of this area. There's one quick thing that I want to try before we actually move on and progress, and it may be a case that that's where I split the video and we'll see what we're doing for time. I mean, I can always upload a bit of a longer one again if things go that way. Right, there's the Chuckle Brothers. We won't bother with them. Oh, is there a chest in there? No, mistaken. Okay. Did actually find an interesting looking piece of armor on one of the shelves. Didn't pick it up as it may have been slightly better. I don't think it was, but it may have been slightly better, like a half a circle in one of the stats or something or other, but the description says clearly designed for a woman, and yeah, if you put those bits of gear on as a man, then you grow a pair of breasts. So yeah, well, kind of. So yeah, it's actually a reasonable reason to make female characters, so that you don't feel quite so awkward running around in, you know, with boobs. But as it is, we're sticking with our guy. And that's just something I've always done. I always make male characters. My brother, also an RPG fan, he's the opposite. He always makes female characters. I don't know if you can read anything into that. Probably not. It just tends to be personal preference. Oh, we have wandered out. Yeah, we want to go this way, and hopefully this corridor this time is going to be free from enemies. I haven't killed all the enemies, but you can see I've made sure all the doors are shut, and that seems to have worked. We didn't have anything wandering around, and it is pretty important. I think actually I'll need to be careful of that in the future, so we don't have a situation like last time. I'm going the wrong way. But the thing I'm keen to do is to just quickly try the other locked door, because I haven't tried it. I haven't tried this other key. I think it's a bit of a long shot, to be honest. I think we'll possibly find the key for... It's actually 2 locked doors up here, I think. Is there 2 or 1? Oh, we'll try and remember. But at least if I can try it, then I can rule it out. And whilst this area is nice and clear, and before we go and try any more we progress on to the next part of the dungeon, which is an unknown quantity. As it stands, I would quite like just to either rule this out or potentially, you know, find something interesting. Trying to remember. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there are 2 locked doors. No, maybe not. Actually, huh. Memory's sort of not quite functioning on that one. But yeah, there is most certainly. Yeah, I think actually there is a locked door in. There's a locked door in here. Huh. Yep. So let's try our other key. This one, right? No. So we can rule that key out for that door, which is a shame, but at least now we know. And then there is another locked door. This is the one that sort of interests me quite a bit, actually. I hope this works. Ooh. Oh, I thought I'd got it then. Just make sure I'm not going. No. Okay, that is a shame. I just want to run back and try the other one because I don't know why I wasn't getting there. Wasn't getting clicking sounds. When I tried to unlock this one, is it open? Oh, I remember. Yeah, that one's barricaded, I think. If we look around on the other side of this room. Yeah. I can't quite get that in my head whether there's actually a room in between those two. Actually, I have tried already to move all of this, and I managed. Obviously, you can get the table off. You can just drag the table off, and well, you should be able to just drag the table off. Yeah, but the barrels, you can't drag them. I spent a long time sort of dropping sticks in between and running into the stick and banging on the door, and like I tried everything. I got one of the barrels off and really struggled with the second barrel, and then sort of realised, oh, this chest of drawers, how am I going to move that? I didn't have a sort of a well thought out plan. Well, anyway, we've ruled out that, which is good. So it means that we know for the future. Oh, ooh, we've got an axe enemy there that I must have missed the first time. I'm actually kind of tempted to just leave them. I don't want to get involved in fights if, especially in this area when I can just go to a new area now, and that is more exciting at the moment. So let's see if I actually remembered to close the doors. Would seem I did. I wasn't sure if I'd remembered to close that one. Thankfully I did, so we are fairly confident now that this corridor will be problem-free. However, somewhere that certainly won't be problem-free. And I have been in here once before, and I got bombarded with enemies, I seem to remember, and so yeah, once again we need to err on the side of caution in every room, though. Get our zoom going all the way out. And yeah, I seem to remember I didn't get very far last time, actually. I might not have even gotten past this room. What I want to do, what I feel like I want to do is just run up and slam that door, and it will probably get us into combat with that guy. And the other thing I just want to do quickly first is check how dark we are here. Okay, yeah, we are pretty dark. I think potentially lighting up this area might be the best way to do things. Oh, he's wandered out. Okay, so let's just wander up here, see if we can get a bit of a better view. Is he coming back? Is he coming back? If he comes back, what we're going to do is we're just going to slam the door and then we're going to go into combat. Oh, we need to have our shield ready first. And hopefully this guy won't cause us any problem. I'm actually hopeful on the difficulty of this that it should be similar to the area we've just come from, considering that the potentially, you know, we could have gone through either door. To begin with, it was just sort of a random decision to go through that first one. Yeah, he doesn't seem like he's particularly tough. I've got to say the axe guy who's carrying the key though, he seemed a little bit of a better fighter than the average axe wielding enemy. Obviously defending his key rather well, but he did a lot more of the, well, attacks like that, it seemed, and he just seemed a little bit more clued in somehow. Again, I'm not sure if that's my imagination or... Sometimes I think you can make these things up in your head when there's something at stake. You know, the enemies that aren't guarding things are probably always going to be easier just by like a psychological default. Right, that went really well. So now we just need to make a decision on which way we go. I'm actually tempted to start at this bottom left door so that we've got some sort of system going on. We'll sort of move around them. I would be surprised if some of these didn't connect up to each other. Okay, we got a room. I do like opening doors on rooms like this because, for a start, there's a good chance of finding parchment or books, which we don't. But actually, anything in this room? I don't trust a room like this to have nothing in. But we're going to assume. The only thing I'll quickly do is just light it up. I'll light up this corner so I can see it really well. And yeah, it looks like it's just an empty room, which is a shame. I do like rooms like this though because, well, two reasons. Anything on here? No. The first is you can immediately just exit them. We now know for sure, and that will stick in my mind, that very first door is not worth going in. So we'll speed us up a bit in the future. And yeah, as I say, the other reason is there does seem to be they quite interesting. Those, well, all the rooms are fairly interesting. I suppose I'm not really making any sort of point there. So, oh, okay, enemy. Get our shield out. He's immediately hostile, even though we're not in combat mode. So, another thing to bear in mind. He's got one of the planks with nails in, I believe that's what that is. So, yeah, not too well armed. Although, doing a little bit of damage to me here. Not too concerned as it's not doing any severe damage at the moment. I think they can do severe damage, but I think they have to get really nice hits when they've got you know, such a shoddy weapon. It's got nails in, so it's not just a wooden plank. It's a bit more than that. But it's rare that you actually take the severe damage. I think with a board with nails in. And let's have a scout around this room. It doesn't look like it actually goes anywhere else. Well, what do we think's been happening in here? It's a bit of a weird one, actually, isn't it? Potentially animals again. I mean, we have had signs of animals in other rooms as well. So there's a skeleton of an animal in some of the prison cells, which seem to be designed for animals, and that's what I believe must have been happening here. So, seeing this this place has had, it's been doing experiments on animals that have progressed to humans. I was actually thinking about our role, like who are we supposed to be and how did we get here and all of that sort of stuff. And actually, the more I think about it, the more I think, well, why doesn't our guy recognise the dates or the the strange language and things like that? And potentially we have sort of landed here somehow from a potentially a different time period. I'm interested about that one because I know that this is supposed to be like a prelude to the sui generis, which I think I've been saying wrong for the entire time that I've been saying sui generis, but I actually reread the word. I'm pretty sure it's generous, so I'm going to stick with that from now on. But yeah, this is supposed to be set a bit back in time from sui generis, so what I'm wondering is, have we like sort of arrived in a different time period and then our character will essentially be the same character in the next game? Speculation. It's all speculation, of course, and as fun as it is to do, it's not something that I'm probably going to get an answer to anytime soon, so I will hopefully, like, more of it will become clear as we find more lore. And what I'm really hopeful for is that we find the first half. I mean, potentially we might have already found it. I need to reread all of those, but okay. So we've got an enemy in here, just on his own. Quite make out what weapon that is. I think it's just sort of the sickle style. It's very dark here, so the enemies are very aggressive. Something to bear in mind, that we can't sort of get early hits for free like we can in the start on some of them. They will attack us even if we're not in combat mode and stuff like that. So oops. My other theory is that the sort of the starting area that we're in, the enemies aren't hostile there because, well, we all know about zombies. They keep a like a little trace of who they used to be. Just need to focus, make sure I don't die on this fight, and yep, that's fine. So I actually have a theory that those early enemies that we're fighting were workers in the lumber mill and in that area. They're all carrying around bits of wood and saws and things, and maybe the reason they're not hostile is because they're sort of carrying on working. Sure, I just saw something walk past this door. Okay. So yeah, they carry on working. They're going from room to room, trying to still saw things and continue with their jobs, even though they don't realise that they're zombies. So, and then I think that the more aggressive ones, they come across more as the prisoners or the experimentees. Okay, we can't search the skeleton. We can't actually move the skeleton either. Bit of a shame. I wouldn't have minded sort of jangling a skeleton around. But pretty cool looking. Makes you wonder what has actually happened there. And dead in the bath. Okay, so a lot of these rooms are actually dead ends. So hopefully we're going to come across one that is going to lead us somewhere. And I think if we do, like we kind of have here, what we should do is just back out for now, and then we'll just check all of the... Well, there is actually only... I've just lost my sense of direction completely. But I just want to just check to see if there's any other enemies at doors, and whilst this is going quite well, The enemies are easy. Yeah, so that's our entrance point, right? I believe. I think actually what I'm going to do is just mark that somehow. Do we have something to mark it with? Yep, we'll just pop these boots there. And that'll just help us get our sense of direction. Assuming that I haven't made a mistake and that's not actually the way out, in which case we may end up with a repeat of the last video where I'm wandering around trying to find an exit for hours. But no, let's I suppose I mean, it's inevitable that I'm going to get lost, so I may as well just go through a door and see where it leads us. Toilets. I sort of set myself up for that one. But yeah, okay, so toilets through that way. More cages. Have we had a good look around in these cages? More sort of animal troughs, so pens for animals. I wonder if this is something to do with the beast that was referenced in... I would kind of figure actually. I wonder if something has escaped. You know, I wonder if some horrible beast has escaped and infected everybody with this disease. They talk about the event and what with everything that has happened and all that sort of stuff. So, okay, this looks like it's just a bit of a dead end. Not finding very much in this area. I assumed that it was gonna be more sort of intertwined and connected, and it looks like we're actually just looking for the one way that we need to go. So there's the boots. So just... But now we've checked... Yeah, we've checked all the doors, but there was one where we could have gone further, I think, which was this one? No? This one? No. So really, is this this whole area? Because if it is, that's my plan ruined. I really would be a little bit clueless as to which way to go after this, because let's try and make some progress. It's definitely just a dead end room, right? This one we've just had a look in. Yeah, that just connects together, doesn't it? This one just seems like it's just that sort of room of cells. This one potentially go somewhere this way. Nope. We're back in the bath death scene. I think it's most of the time that happens to me when I'm looking at something else on the screen and still moving my guy around. So actually, this is a pretty empty zone, and actually would perhaps be a better way to come first. The fight's really easy there, actually, compared to the area we've just been in. Right, so... The only other thing that I can think is I'm pretty sure that there was a locked door back where we just come from that I haven't unlocked. Maybe that's the avenue for exploration. Brain's whirring, but I'm at a bit of a loss at the moment. Right. What I think we'll try and do is just exit this area then. Just double check that where we've left our boots is in fact the way back out. I mean, that we might need to come back here and have a real thorough search, you know, zoomed in, just to rule out anything hidden. But for now, I think we just have to leave it as it is. Right, this is back to our starting area. So yeah, let's just head back this way and see if we can discover that door that was locked. Just a bit further in. And again, I've dealt with the majority of the enemies. I believe it's just the Chuckle Brothers that are locked in that room. We know that that room leads nowhere. I still might kill them just to have a double check and make sure that I've not missed like an avenue of exploration. Well, that was a little bit disappointing. I was hoping for sort of like a similar sized area that I could get stuck into, but it seems like it's going to be a little bit more complicated for us than that. But at least I've managed to show how you get the key, which is this door here. Follow that corridor, 2 enemies, one of them has the key. And that's something that we can now repeat, which is excellent. So obviously this area is substantially bigger than the other 2. So I will hope that slowly it's becoming sort of cemented in my mind how to get around as well, and what enemies are where, and where the danger points are, and all that sort of shebang. See, we actually could do with finding another key, because if we could just get through that other locked door, I think that might be another expanse of an area as well. Constantly looking for keys. And now we know that zombies potentially carry them. Is this the locked door? Nope. Nope, Chuckle Brothers, get away! Oh crap. Right, yeah, we haven't got any choice. We're gonna have to fight, well, at least this guy. So let's just run right away, so hopefully they both won't come. It looks like it's inevitably gonna turn into a fight with both of them though, so we're just gonna try and deal with it. If we can do as much damage on one of them before the other one arrives. Oh, I'm worried about this one. I'll feel really good about myself if I can get them down, because both together they're a nightmare. I've done them by trapping them and separating them apart from each other, but like I say, this whole long range, short range thing sort of messes with my head a little bit. Just keep on smacking into your mate, please. That's a bit more damage that we took there. And the crutch actually does pretty significant damage to us if you can get a clean hit. It's quite a nasty weapon. Oh, this is looking like it's gonna end badly. Just a little bit lucky, I think. Please smack into each other a little bit more, guys. Just make it a bit easier for me, please. Is he down? Yes, okay. I feel a lot better about this now. Oop. Didn't want to take that hit though. Fortunately not doing severe damage to us. Oh, I find his weapon really awkward to fight against actually. It's hard to judge it, and it's pretty quick. Try and get a bit of a better camera. Playing this out very, very cautiously, because it would be a shame for us to die at this point. And it's getting close, damn. Ooh. Nervous. Oh, please go down. Oh, no. Very funny, Paul and Barry. But yeah, I'll upload this one, and you know, we've explored a new area. I've shown how to get that other key. I think what I might do actually is do quite a bit of play off camera. I don't know actually. I'll make a call. I might sort of get back to this point, but potentially just try and find a way for us to progress before I make another video. But I'm sure he was very, very close to going down as well. But that's the end of this run. The sorry corpse of ourselves. But thanks for watching again, and I'll see you in the next one.